Welcome to Microsoft Excel. This is the first of 3 labs in which we will cover the Microsoft application Excel. We'll be starting in your books on page EX 1.1. This is Lab 1, Creating and Editing a Worksheet. You'll note that on the first page here, we have 14 different objectives that we're going to work with. As we turn the page, we'll see that we have a case study, and so the point of the case study is to add a little bit of flavor to what would ordinarily be slightly dull material. If you turn the page again, a concept preview. Concept preview is important. You'll see that we have 13 different concepts in this first one. The way that this class will work and the way these videos will work is there will be a video for each one of the concepts. Sometimes these videos will be longer than others. But it's important to note the concept preview because it corresponds to the concept summary at the end of the chapters. So at any point you have a difficult time remembering what one particular lesson was or how to do something, you can find it either in the concept preview or in the concept summary. So once you've got there, we'll go ahead and get started. You need to open up Microsoft Excel if you haven't. And if you don't have Microsoft 2010, you need to have the 2010 edition for this class. And if you don't have one, you can contact our bookstore and we have them there fairly cheap. It says if necessary, go ahead and maximize your page. You'll note that on these pages there are orange dots. We see our first one on 1.5 and it says 1. And these are kind of our step-by-step instructions that help us go through these labs. And I will be doing exactly what you see here. It tells us to move the mouse pointer onto the center of the workbook, and you'll notice that our mouse changes depending on where we're at. So if you can move to the ribbon, you'll see the pointer looks like this. Here we have a cursor, etc. Each Microsoft document is broken up into different sheets, and the whole thing is called a workbook. So anytime we have it open, you can see an untitled file comes up as book number 1. And then down here we have sheets. We have sheet number 1, sheet number 2, sheet number 3. By default, it always populates 3 sheets for us. And of course, we can add new sheets or delete sheets, and we'll do that later on. You'll also see the document is broken up into cells. These are grid lines. The rows are horizontal, and they're numbered 1 through however many you go, and our columns are labeled with letters, as you can see up here. So often we'll say go to cell D5, and you can see that I click there, now I'm on D and I'm on 5. On an important side note, just because we have these grid lines here does not mean they actually exist. When we would go to print the page, these would not appear. We would have to put them in manually if we wanted to see them. So in this first lab, we just give you some of the basic information. And if you find this first lab to be fairly easy, don't be surprised. However, it does get a little trickier as we go along. And it tells us to click through our sheets. You can see sheet 1, sheet 2, sheet 3. And we're going to come back to sheet 1, and we're going to click on cell B3 right there. And we're going to hit the arrow 3 times over and down 4 times. And it's just showing you that you can click on cells or you can use your arrows to move cells around. If you press page down, you'll see that you'll move a whole page worth of rows down. Same, you go up, do the same thing. It tells us to slowly drag the vertical scroll box up the scroll bar until row 1 is displayed. So you can also move through your rows this way with your scroll bar. And it tells you to practice moving around until you find it easy. So if you need any extra practice, take it now. I think it's fairly easy. And then it says use Control Home, and it will take us to A1.